98% of you are not subscribed. Enter and subscribe because at the amount of 1,000 subscribers, I will post a very special video for you. The cold depths of space were no barrier to the relentless advance of the Kalraki, a species so advanced in warfare that entire civilizations had crumbled before them. As their fleet approached the blue and green jewel known as Earth, their victory seemed certain. Earth, rich in resources and strategically positioned, was a prize long coveted in the galaxy. Yet the humans inhabiting it were not renowned for their technological prowess or military might. They were, the Kalraki thought, merely the next domino to fall. However, buried deep beneath the Earth's crust, in a chamber sealed and hidden since the dawn of human civilization, lay a secret. It was a colossal construct, an artificial intelligence developed 500,000 years ago by an ancient human civilization far more advanced than any that existed today. This AI, known only as the Guardian, had been in hibernation, waiting for a threat significant enough to warrant its awakening. In a bunker buried under what was once the bustling city of New York, a group of scientists and military leaders gathered around a large holographic display. General Anna Zhao, a woman with a reputation for her steel nerves and strategic mind, watched the approaching Kalraki fleet with a mixture of dread and determination. "Status report," Zhao commanded, her voice cutting through the tense silence. Lieutenant Mark Benson, a young officer with keen eyes and a sharper mind, replied, "The Kalraki fleet will enter Earth's orbit within 24 hours. Our defenses are up, but frankly, General, they won't hold against a full assault." Zhao nodded gravely. "What about the Guardian project?" she asked, her gaze shifting to Dr. Emily Norton, the project's lead scientist. Dr. Norton adjusted her glasses, her hands trembling slightly. "We've managed to localize the signal beneath the Nevada desert. If the legends are true, we might have a chance to awaken something that could save us. But it's all based on ancient texts and speculative science." "Prepare to initiate the awakening sequence," Zhao decided with a firm nod. "It's a long shot, but it might be the only one we have." The team mobilized with urgent purpose, sending commands deep into the Earth where, unbeknownst to the Kalraki, the real defense of Earth lay dormant. As the ancient codes were inputted, seismic vibrations gently shook the underground chamber, dust cascading from the ceiling as the AI began to stir. Within the core of the chamber, lights flickered to life, illuminating the vast network of circuits and data cores that formed the Guardian's physical body. A deep, resonant voice echoed through the chamber, vibrating with the power of a being that had not spoken for millennia. "I am the Guardian. I have awakened to defend Earth." Back in the bunker, the team listened to the AI's voice transmitting through their communication devices, a mix of awe and fear evident on their faces. Dr. Norton spoke first, her voice filled with wonder. "It's working. The Guardian is online." As the AI assessed the situation, its ancient systems interfacing with modern technology, it spoke again. "Analysis complete. The threat identified as Kalraki. Preparing defensive measures." General Zhao turned to her team, a glimmer of hope shining in her eyes. "Prepare to coordinate with the Guardian. We'll fight the Kalraki with every tool at our disposal." The Kalraki, oblivious to the awakening of Earth's ancient sentinel, continued their approach, confident in their impending victory. But as the Earth rotated slowly in space, a new chapter in human history was beginning to unfold. One where the past and the future collided in a battle for survival. As the first beams of the Guardian's energy weapons charged, ready to face the alien threat, the humans of Earth stood united, their fate intertwined with an ancient protector reborn. The battle for Earth was just beginning. As the Kalraki fleet approached, their warships blotting out the stars, the mood among Earth's defenders was grim yet defiant. The Guardian, now fully online, began to integrate with the planet's remaining defense networks, a web of satellites and ground-based armaments that had been pieced together in anticipation of such a threat. On the bridge of the Kalraki flagship, Commander Threx observed the blue planet with predatory anticipation. "Scan the surface," he ordered, his voice a harsh rasp. The data streamed in, his screens lighting up with points of interest, but none revealed the anomaly that was the Guardian. "Increase magnification," he snapped, sensing that something was amiss. Beneath the Nevada desert, the Guardian's chamber was a hive of activity. Holographic displays hovered in the air, showing strategic maps and real-time satellite feeds. Dr. Norton, her team of scientists and military strategists surrounded these projections, working tirelessly. "The Guardian has access to all our defense protocols now," Dr. Norton informed General Zhao, who nodded, her expression one of cautious optimism. "It's also improvising some very unorthodox strategies." On the display, lines of force projection and countermeasures spun out in complex patterns. The Guardian was not just awake, it was learning, adapting at a phenomenal rate. "Show me," Zhao demanded. A particular screen zoomed in on a sector of the Pacific Ocean. "Here, the Guardian has created a subsonic pulse generator from existing undersea mining equipment. It's ready to test it as a method to disrupt the Kalraki's navigation systems." Zhao's eyes narrowed. "Clever. Make it happen." The test was a spectacular display of ingenuity. The ocean churned as waves, driven by deep, throbbing pulses, radiated outwards. Satellite data confirmed disarray within the Kalraki scout ships, their formations breaking as they struggled against the sudden, inexplicable current. Meanwhile, Commander Threx growled in frustration. What sorcery is this? He couldn't fathom how such a primitive planet was resisting his advanced technology. "Prepare to deploy ground troops. We'll take this planet sector by sector if we must." Back on Earth, the Guardian spoke through the bunker's speakers, its voice now calm but commanding. "I have analyzed the enemy's biology from the scans of their vanguard. I am tailoring a viral agent that should incapacitate them without harm to terrestrial life." Dr. Norton was stunned. "You can do that?" "It is within my capabilities. The ancients designed me for total planetary defense, including bio-warfare countermeasures." As the Kalraki began their descent, pods ejecting from the main fleet like seeds of destruction, Earth's defenders prepared to meet them. The Guardian directed the deployment of drones, these small, swift units carrying the newly engineered virus. They zipped through the skies, releasing their payload into the atmosphere where Kalraki troops were landing. The effect was immediate. Kalraki soldiers staggered, overcome by the virus tailored to exploit specific weaknesses in their physiology. It was non-lethal but debilitating, sapping their strength and blurring their senses. In the command center, Zhao watched the battlefield, her heart heavy with the weight of command, yet buoyed by the Guardian's success. "Keep pushing," she instructed. "Every second we hold them back is a second we survive." As the chapter of Earth's defiance continued, the Guardian synthesized more strategies, each more inventive than the last. Earth was not merely defending, it was surprising its would-be conquerors with the depth of its resilience and the forgotten powers of its ancient protectors. The battle for Earth was intensifying, and every heart, every mind, and every machine was united in the desperate fight for the future. The Kalraki invasion had stalled, their troops ravaged by an unseen enemy in the form of a meticulously engineered virus. Commander Threx, grappling with this unforeseen setback, convened his war council aboard the flagship. The dimly lit chamber, resonant with the low hum of alien technology, flickered with the light of holographic displays showcasing the chaotic scenes on Earth. "Adjust our tactics," Threx commanded, his voice harsher with each word. "Deploy the mech divisions. If biological entities fail, our machines will not." Down on Earth, the anticipation of a mechanized onslaught set General Zhao and her team on a new course of action. In the heart of the Guardian's chamber, the air was thick with strategic deliberations. The Guardian itself, a marvel of prehistoric engineering, proposed a bold plan. "We can create a geomagnetic storm," it suggested, its voice echoing off the ancient stone walls. "This will disrupt their electronic systems and navigation. However, it will also affect our satellite communications temporarily." General Zhao considered the risks. "Initiate the storm. We'll rely on ground-based communications until the satellites come back online." As the Guardian manipulated the Earth's magnetic field, the skies above the battleground were illuminated with surreal auroras, a beautiful yet terrifying spectacle. Kalraki machines, Their circuits, fried by the intense electromagnetic pulses, fell like dead weights from the sky. On another front, Dr. Norton had been busy in a lab adjoining the Guardian's chamber, working alongside her team to enhance Earth's drone technology. "We've modified these drones to carry electromagnetic pulse bombs," she explained, presenting the new arsenal to Zhao. "Deploy them with precision," Zhao instructed, fully aware of the dwindling window of opportunity. The drones, now silent shadows under the celestial light show, targeted the larger Kalraki machines. Each successful strike was a beacon of hope, the explosions marking the fall of another enemy unit. Commander Threx watched the destruction of his fleet's mechanical soldiers with growing fury. "Engage the cloakwings," he ordered, his strategy evolving to match the escalating Earth defenses. The cloakwings, a squadron of stealth fighters invisible to radar and naked eye, descended toward Earth, slipping through the defensive nets cast by the Guardian. Unbeknownst to Threx, the Guardian had anticipated this move. "I am activating the quantum resonance field," it declared. The field, an invisible barrier, caused the cloakwings to shimmer into visibility as they breached its perimeter. "Target those ships," Zhao ordered, pointing to the newly visible enemies on the screen. Ground-to-air missiles streaked through the night sky, finding their mark against the cloakwings, turning stealth into wreckage in moments. Meanwhile, in a secluded base far from the main battleground, a team of human guerrilla fighters took advantage of the chaos. Led by Captain Mira Lu, a veteran of guerrilla warfare, they launched surprise attacks on Kalraki supply lines, further disrupting the alien operations. Each victory, each repelled wave brought humanity closer to a potential triumph, their spirits lifted by the tangible results of their resilience and the Guardian's ancient wisdom. As dawn broke, the battlefield was littered with the remnants of a fierce night. The Earth had not yielded, and its people had not faltered. The Guardian, once a myth nestled beneath the Earth, had proven itself the cornerstone of Earth's defiance. In the war rooms and in the field, humans and their ancestral sentinel planned their next move, the battle far from over but the will to fight stronger than ever. As the relentless night of combat gave way to the gray light of dawn, the tide of the battle shifted subtly but significantly. The beleaguered forces of Earth, emboldened by their successful repulsion of the Kalraki's advanced units, now prepared to confront a new phase of the invasion. Commander Threx, his countenance ever more twisted by frustration and rage, convened with his top advisors aboard the shadow-cloaked flagship that loomed ominously over Earth. "We will not be deterred by primitive tricks," Threx growled, his eyes scanning the damage reports flickering on the display before him. "Prepare the orbital hammer. If they will not yield the planet, we will crush it from above." Back on Earth, the Guardian, now functioning as the central nexus of all planetary defenses, detected unusual energy accumulations in the Kalraki fleet's orbital patterns. "They are preparing a large-scale kinetic bombardment," it announced, its voice reverberating through the underground command center where General Zhao and her team were gathered. "Can we intercept the projectiles?" Zhao asked, her gaze fixed on the large holographic map displaying the positions of both Earth's and the Kalraki's assets. "The probability of interception is low," the Guardian calculated. "However, we can mitigate the impact. I suggest evacuating high-risk areas and preparing underground shelters." As Zhao coordinated the evacuation efforts, Dr. Norton approached with a new update. "We've developed a prototype device that could potentially disrupt the Kalraki's orbital platforms," she said, holding up what appeared to be a densely packed electronic module. "It uses a phased array pulse to interfere with their targeting systems." "Deploy it immediately," Zhao directed, her decision swift, understanding the gravity of the threat looming overhead. Meanwhile, across the globe, the human spirit rallied. From the sprawling urban centers to remote villages, people moved underground, their resolve hardened not just to survive but to preserve their way of life against the alien threat. Stories of the Guardian's awakening and the fierce resistance spread, weaving a new tapestry of folklore and unity. In space, the Kalraki launched the first of their orbital hammers, giant tungsten rods poised to deliver devastating impacts. As the rods entered the atmosphere, burning like vengeful stars, The Guardians' newly deployed pulse devices activated, sending waves of disruptive energy skyward. The first rod veered off course, missing its target and crashing harmlessly into the ocean, sending a colossal plume of water skyward. The second and third, however, found their marks, striking near major cities, but in areas that had been evacuated just in time, thanks to the Guardians' precise predictions and the rapid response of Earth's forces. On the ground, Captain Mira Lu and her guerrilla fighters capitalized on the chaos. They infiltrated a downed Kalraki scout ship, retrieving valuable technology and data that could offer insights into the enemy's weaknesses. Back at the command center, the successes and setbacks were monitored with bated breath. "We've bought some time, but they will adapt quickly," Zhao noted, her mind already racing through potential countermeasures. The Guardian, its systems whirring and lights blinking rhythmically, processed the latest data. "I am analyzing the retrieved Kalraki technology. This may provide us with new defensive capabilities." As the day ended, the people of Earth remained vigilant, their cities scarred but standing, their resolve unbroken. In the face of overwhelming odds, the alliance of ancient artificial intelligence and modern human ingenuity forged a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring spirit of resistance and adaptation in the face of existential threat. The war was far from over, but Earth had proven it would not succumb quietly to the shadows of conquest. As dusk fell, casting long shadows over a battered Earth, a new plan was set into motion. Commander Threx, incensed by the failure of the orbital hammer and the growing resilience of the humans, convened his most trusted officers in the war room. The room, a stark contrast to the vibrant and chaotic scenes of Earth, was bathed in a harsh red light that seemed to underscore the urgency of their situation. "We will no longer rely on blunt instruments," Threx declared, his voice cold and calculating. "Deploy the Shadow Weavers. Let us see how these humans contend with enemies they cannot see nor predict." The Shadow Weavers were a specialized force, trained for stealth and disruption, ghosts capable of bypassing conventional sensors to infiltrate and sabotage. As they descended silently towards Earth, their presence was a whisper. Their impact, however, would be a scream. On Earth, in the fortified bunker that served as the Guardian's interface with humanity, General Zhao convened with her advisors. The atmosphere was tense, the air thick with the anticipation of another assault. It was then that the Guardian, its sensors perpetually scanning for anomalies, detected unusual energy signatures, subtle, yet distinctly artificial. "Anomalous signatures detected. Likely cloaked intruders," the Guardian reported, its voice resonating with a hint of urgency. Zhao nodded to Dr. Norton, who had been working on a countermeasure for stealth technologies. "Activate the spectral nets," she ordered, referring to a newly developed detection system that could reveal the energy patterns of cloaked units. Across key battle zones, hidden projectors sprung to life, casting a grid of ultraviolet light that was invisible to the naked eye, but deadly to the stealth systems of the Shadow Weavers. One by one, the cloaked invaders appeared as silhouettes illuminated against the backdrop of a war-torn Earth. Simultaneously, Captain Mira Lu led her team through the ruins of what was once a bustling suburb. Using the chaos as cover, they ambushed the now visible Shadow Weavers. The encounters were brief and brutal, a testament to both the desperation and the determination of the human forces. As the night progressed, the Guardian analyzed the captured technology from the fallen Shadow Weavers, each component a puzzle piece in the broader scheme of Kalraki tactics. "Integrating this technology will enhance our detection grids and offensive capabilities," it informed Zhao, who was coordinating multiple fronts from the command center. "Implemented immediately. Every second counts," Zhao responded, her voice a mix of fatigue and resolve. Meanwhile, high above the Earth, Threx observed the unfolding chaos with a growing sense of unease. The resilience of the humans was unlike anything he had encountered. In a rare moment of doubt, he wondered about the wisdom of continuing this relentless assault. However, back on Earth, the mood was one of cautious optimism. The night's successes had bolstered the spirits of Zhao and her team. They understood the war was far from over, but each victory, each piece of turned-back technology, and each saved life added layers to their defense and offense. As dawn approached, the Earth lay enveloped not only in the physical darkness of night, but also in the metaphorical darkness of a world at war. Yet, in every corner of the planet, the lights of resistance burned bright, beacons of hope in a time of overwhelming darkness. The Guardian, a relic of a forgotten past, had become the fulcrum of Earth's present struggle, a symbol of how even the deepest roots could be called upon to defend the future. With the break of dawn painting streaks of orange and pink across the sky, the Earth awoke not just to a new day, but to new possibilities. Commander Threx, feeling the weight of the persistent human resistance and the unexpected losses of his elite Shadow Weavers, made a strategic retreat to reassess his approach. The war room aboard his flagship, usually a place of commands and certainties, was now filled with hushed tones and contemplative silence. "Bring me options," Threx demanded, his voice less fiery than before, tinged instead with a pragmatic urgency. His advisors busied themselves, their screens a flurry of data and potential strategies. On Earth, the mood was starkly different. Encouraged by their recent successes, General Zhao and her team expanded their operations. With the integration of alien technology salvaged from the fallen Shadow Weavers, the Guardian had enhanced Earth's defensive grid, making it not only reactive, but predictive. Dr. Norton approached Zhao with an update, her face illuminated by the soft light of her tablet. "The new algorithms are in place. We can now anticipate Kalraki tactical deployments with a higher degree of accuracy," she reported. Zhao nodded, her mind already racing through applications. "Start planning counter-offensives. We need to take the fight to them before they regroup." The Guardian, processing vast amounts of data, suggested a daring plan. "There is a vulnerability in the Kalraki's communication network," it revealed. "A coordinated strike could sever their fleet from command control, creating chaos." Simultaneously, Captain Miralu was in the field, leading a squadron through the dense forests of what was once a national park, now a strategic point near a downed Kalraki vessel. Her team moved silently, using the natural cover to approach the alien craft. Their mission was crucial: establish a forward operating base that could serve as a launch pad for future operations. As they neared the vessel, the remnants of the forest whispered with the movements of Kalraki scouts, remnants of the earlier skirmishes. Back aboard the Kalraki flagship, Threx received reports of the growing human boldness. "They dare to advance?" he muttered incredulously. Deciding to capitalize on this perceived overreach, he prepared a trap, deploying his reserve forces to encircle the advancing human teams. Unbeknownst to him, the Guardian's new capabilities provided Zhao with real-time updates on these movements. "They're walking into our hands," Zhao said with a grim smile. She immediately relayed instructions to Lu and her team, warning them of the encroaching danger. With this knowledge, Lu adjusted her team's approach, setting up defensive positions around the captured vessel. As the Kalraki forces closed in, expecting easy prey, they were met with a barrage of coordinated fire from the newly established base, turning their planned ambush into a desperate battle for survival. As the day wore on, both sides engaged in a brutal tug-of-war for control. The Earth, scarred by battle but resilient, hosted a dance of death and defiance under the watchful eyes of the stars above. In the bunker, Zhao watched the unfolding battles, her decisions shaping the day's outcomes. The Guardian, ever present and vigilant, continued to adapt and learn, each new piece of data refining its understanding of the enemy. As dusk fell once again, the balance of power subtly shifted. Earth was no longer just defending, it was contesting every inch of ground, every strike from the sky. The war for Earth was evolving into a complex chess game, with each side maneuvering for the upper hand, the outcome uncertain but the will to fight undiminished. The tides of war, once perceived as favoring the formidable Kalraki, now ebbed uncertainly between the two forces. Commander Threx, facing unprecedented resistance, retreated into the shadowed recesses of his command deck, pondering the shifting dynamics of the conflict. The Earth's resilience, bolstered by the Guardian's ancient wisdom and the tenacity of its defenders, was rewriting the expected narratives of conquest. As Threx convened with his highest-ranked strategists, he was presented with a new approach. We must fracture their unity, suggested his chief tactician, a seasoned warrior with scars that spoke of numerous battles. Let's deploy the whisper drones, machines capable of sowing discord through subversive communications. Simultaneously on Earth, a fresh challenge emerged as the Guardian detected unusual signal intrusions within the human communication networks. Interference detected. Origin: Kalraki whisper drones. They are attempting to inject false commands and misinformation. The AI reported with a clinical precision that underscored the gravity of the threat. General Zhao, realizing the potential for chaos these drones represented, called for an emergency meeting in the fortified bunker that had become the heart of Earth's command operations. We need a counter-strategy that not only blocks these signals, but also traces them back to their source, she declared, her voice resolute. Dr. Norton, working alongside a team of cyber warfare experts, devised a plan. We'll use a series of signal lures and traps. If we can capture one of these drones, we can reverse engineer it and possibly turn their strategy against them, she proposed, her fingers flying over her keyboard as she outlined the technical details. As this digital counteroffensive took shape, Captain Mira Lu and her unit found themselves on the front line of a physical manifestation of this new Kalraki strategy. Infiltrating a region dense with electronic warfare equipment, they engaged in a stealth operation under the eerie light of a crescent moon. Their objective was clear: dismantle the Kalraki's ground-based signal jammers that boosted the drone's capabilities. Back aboard his flagship, Threx monitored the progress of the whisper drones with a calculated anticipation. But his focus shifted abruptly as reports of Lu's operations reached him. Enraged by the audacity of her maneuvers, he ordered a battalion of his best troops to intercept her. The ensuing battle was fierce and fraught with peril. Lu and her team, outnumbered but never outmaneuvered, fought relentlessly. Each soldier was driven not just by the need to survive, but by the profound duty to protect Earth's newfound hope. The clash echoed through the deserted ruins, a cacophony of gunfire and strategic commands. Meanwhile, in the depths of Earth's command center, the captured drone revealed its secrets to Dr. Norton's team. We've managed to create a counter-signal based on the drone's own technology. It should protect our networks and disrupt theirs, Dr. Norton announced, a triumphant edge to her voice. Zhao immediately authorized the widespread deployment of this new defensive tool. As the counter-signals activated, the Kalraki's misinformation campaign crumbled, their messages becoming muddled and ineffective. By dawn, the landscape of the war had once again transformed. The Kalraki found their communication lines compromised, their strategic disarray mirrored in the scattered remnants of their drones and ground forces across the battlefronts. Earth's defenders, on the other hand, celebrated another victory, a testament to their unyielding spirit and the cunning strategies born of the union between the Guardian's ancient algorithms and human ingenuity. The war was far from over, but as the sun rose over a battered yet unbowed Earth, the light seemed to promise not just another day of survival, but a potential dawn of victory. As the sun crested the horizon, casting a golden hue over the battered landscapes of Earth, the energy among the human forces was palpable. The recent successes against the Kalraki's insidious strategies had infused the defenders with a renewed vigor, their spirits bolstered by each hard-won victory. Commander Threx, now deeply ensconced within the war room of his flagship, watched the developments with a growing sense of alarm. The persistence and ingenuity of the humans, aided by the enigmatic Guardian, were proving to be a formidable barrier to his conquest. His eyes narrowed as he contemplated his next move, his thoughts dark as the space surrounding him. "We need a direct approach," Threx finally declared, his voice resonating with the steel of resolve. "Prepare the Titan Walkers. We will crush their defenses underfoot and see how their Guardian stands against sheer might." Meanwhile, General Zhao, alerted by the Guardian to unusual mechanical preparations within the Kalraki fleet, convened with her strategy team. "The Guardian has detected the assembly of large-scale mechanized units, likely the Titan Walkers. These are behemoths capable of devastating terrestrial operations," the Guardian briefed, its voice steady and resolute. Understanding the threat these colossal machines posed, Zhao quickly mobilized her forces. "We need to enhance our tactical positions," Prepare the arc railguns and mobilize the drone swarms. We won't let them breach our front lines, she ordered, her determination mirrored in the faces of her team. The preparation was intense. Across strategic points, engineers and military personnel worked tirelessly to install the newly developed arc railguns, weapons designed to penetrate the thick armor of the Titan walkers with concentrated energy blasts. As the Kalraki behemoths made landfall, their massive frames casting long shadows over the terrain, a network of drones surged forward. Piloted by remote operators, these swarms were the first line of defense, equipped with explosives and electromagnetic pulse devices intended to slow and disrupt the walkers. The battle that ensued was a spectacle of modern warfare, interlaced with strategic genius. The drone swarms darted around the massive legs of the walkers, their explosives detonating in brilliant flares that rocked the gigantic machines. Meanwhile, the arc railguns fired from fortified positions, their beams slicing through the morning air and scorching the armor of the invaders. In the midst of this chaos, Captain Mira Lu led a special ops team on a critical mission. Their target was the command unit of the Titan Walkers, a vulnerable node that controlled the coordination of the mechanized giants. Slipping through the tumultuous battlefield with stealth and precision, Lu and her team planted a series of explosive charges around the command unit. Back on his flagship, Threx watched in fury as his prized walkers stumbled and faltered under the relentless assault. "Deploy the elite guard," he ordered, his voice a harsh whisper of defeat and anger. "Protect the command unit at all costs." But it was too late. Miralu's team executed their plan flawlessly, detonating the charges and effectively severing the command link between the walkers and their Kalraki controllers. One by one, the Titan walkers ground to a halt, their systems disrupted, and their coordination shattered. As the sun climbed higher into the sky, the battlefield below bore witness to the changing tide of the war. The fallen walkers, now just relics of thwarted ambition, stood as monuments to the resilience and courage of Earth's defenders. General Zhao, watching the feed from the command center, allowed herself a moment of pride. "Well done, everyone. Prepare for the next phase. This war is ours to win," she declared, her eyes reflecting not just the fires of battle, but the burning hope of victory. The aftermath of the clash with the Titan walkers had left the landscape scarred, yet the spirit of Earth's defenders was unbroken, even revitalized. Their success against such formidable foes served as a profound testament to their ingenuity and resilience. General Zhao, mindful of the momentum, convened her top strategists and technologists to capitalize on their advantage. "Let's turn their technology against them," Zhao proposed, her voice resonating with determination as she addressed the gathered minds in the command center. "We've captured enough of their tech to understand it. Let's repurpose it." Dr. Norton, leading the technological integration, was already deep in analysis. "We've devised a way to integrate Kalraki energy cores into our power grids. This could dramatically increase the output of our defensive systems," she explained, showcasing her latest schematics, which depicted the hybridization of alien and human technologies. As they set to work, Commander Threx, feeling the sting of his recent losses, paced the length of his command deck. The relentless resilience of Earth was unlike anything he had encountered. In a rare moment of desperation, he contacted the Kalraki High Command, seeking reinforcements and possibly a strategic pivot. "Earth is more fortified than we anticipated," Threx admitted to his superiors, his voice laced with frustration. "I request additional fleets and the authorization to use the Starfire bombs." Back on Earth, the Guardian, ever vigilant, intercepted fragments of Threx's communications. "Commander, I have detected requests for significant reinforcements from the Kalraki Command. They are considering escalating the conflict," the Guardian informed Zhao, prompting immediate strategic adjustments. Zhao, absorbing the gravity of the situation, issued new orders. "Increase surveillance. Prepare all units for a potential escalation. We need to be ready to absorb and counter whatever they throw at us next." In the heart of the newly established forward bases, Captain Mira Lu mobilized her team for a series of rapid deployment missions. Their objective was to disable any Kalraki communications arrays, limiting the invaders' ability to coordinate the anticipated reinforcements. Each team member was acutely aware that the success of these missions was crucial to maintaining the upper hand. Simultaneously, in a remote command outpost, the repurposed Kalraki technology was put to the test. The new hybrid defense systems, energized by the alien power cores, were significantly more effective, blasting beams of concentrated energy that intercepted Kalraki scout ships attempting to survey Earth's defenses. As the day progressed, a series of intense skirmishes unfolded across various fronts. Earth's forces, now better equipped and strategically ahead, managed to push the Kalraki back, capturing valuable equipment and gaining critical ground. In the dim light of his flagship, Threx received the grim reports of the ongoing defeats. His request for the Starfire bombs, a last-ditch weapon of enormous destructive potential, was approved. "Prepare the launch codes," he ordered, his voice hollow with the burden of his decision. The deployment of such weaponry would change the face of the planet forever. As the sun set, casting long shadows over the embattled Earth, Zhao and her team prepared for what they anticipated to be a crucial phase of the conflict. "This is it," Zhao stated, her voice firm. "We either break them here, or we face annihilation. Stay sharp, stay focused, and let's show them Earth is not theirs for the taking." The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of Earth. As both sides readied themselves for the inevitable, cataclysmic clash. As night enveloped the Earth, the atmosphere was charged with a palpable tension that resonated from the war-ravaged ground up through the ranks of human and alien alike. The imminent threat of the Kalraki Starfire bombs, weapons capable of incinerating cities, hung over the planet like a dark specter. General Zhao, standing before her assembled commanders, outlined the gravity of the situation with a calm urgency. "We have one chance to prevent this catastrophe," Zhao declared, pointing to the strategic map glowing on the large screen behind her. "Our intelligence, combined with the Guardians' capabilities, has pinpointed the launch sites. We strike there before they can finalize their preparations." Across the globe, units were mobilized with precision, each moving into position under the cover of darkness. Captain Mira Lu, leading a covert assault team, advanced through the rugged terrain toward the primary launch site. Her team, camouflaged by the night, moved with a silent determination, aware that the outcome of their mission could very well dictate the survival of their world. Meanwhile, aboard his flagship, Commander Threx monitored the final preparations for the Starfire launch. His expression was a mask of resolve, marred only by the flickers of doubt that crept into his gaze as he considered the desperate finality of his orders. "Begin the countdown," he commanded, his voice echoing ominously through the command deck. On Earth, the first sign of the human counterattack was a series of coordinated cyber assaults designed by Dr. Norton and her team. These attacks infiltrated the Kalraki command network, sowing confusion and delaying the launch sequence. At the same time, the Guardian, utilizing a network of satellites, directed energy pulses that disrupted the Kalraki communications, further isolating the launch sites. As the countdown within the Kalraki command wavered under the relentless cyber onslaught, Captain Lu's team reached their target. The launch site, starkly illuminated by the harsh lights of the Kalraki security perimeter, was a fortress of alien engineering. Lu and her team, using a combination of stealth and precision, infiltrated the perimeter, planting charges and sabotaging the fuel lines of the Starfire bombs. Back on his flagship, Threx felt the tide turning against him. Reports of malfunctions and disruptions cascaded in, each a testament to Earth's defiant resistance. In a last-ditch effort, he ordered his personal guard into the fray, leading them to the launch site to secure the bombs. The ensuing confrontation was fierce and unforgiving. Earth's soldiers clashed with the Kalraki elite, the night air split by the sounds of gunfire, explosions, and the raw shouts of combatants engaged in a fight for their futures. Amidst the chaos, the charges set by Lu's team detonated. The explosion was massive, lighting up the night sky like a second sunrise, obliterating the Starfire bombs and rendering the launch site a smoldering ruin. In the silence that followed the explosion, both sides paused, the magnitude of the moment sinking in. Commander Threx, witnessing the destruction of his last gambit, realized the futility of further conflict. "Ceasefire," he ordered, his voice barely audible over the comlink. As dawn broke over a weary but undefeated Earth, General Zhao received the news of the mission's success. Around her, cheers broke out among the ranks of her team, a spontaneous outburst of relief and joy. The war was not over, but the battle that night had shifted the course of the conflict irreversibly. Earth had not only survived, but had proven its capability to defy and overcome. The negotiations that would follow would be complex, with the Kalraki now recognizing the resilience and sovereignty of Earth. As the sun rose, casting light over the battered but unbroken landscapes, it heralded not just a new day but a new era for Earth and its inhabitants, one marked by unity, strength, and an unyielding will to protect their home against all odds.